different individual.
What's good people? They call me Bo, and this is how it go. We finally made it. Episode 5. Karma. Boy, this one is a tricky one just due to people gonna know who I'm talking about because they're still in my life. But hey, we gotta fulfill what God asked me to do. I'm gonna try my best not to say too much about what others done because I'm not a person to blame everybody else for my choices. I'm trying to keep it my testimony and the things that I did to probably deserve all of this stuff. So, all that being said, we left off in episode 4. I had my stint in the West Coast. I was in the West Coast gambling, acting, homeless, all type of stuff. My son was acting a fool, so I had to come back and take care of him. So I moved back to Texas to take care of my son, and that's where we began. So I get back to Texas, move in with baby mama. I got a job. I didn't have a car at the time. My grandma had just passed, and my dad had this 85 Cadillac Coupe de Ville sitting in the garage that was hers, like 20,000 miles on it. I said, what? He asked me, did I want it? I said, man, what? That fit right along with the pimper perspective and the player's ego. It fit right in for me. And I got this 85 Cadillac peanut butter. We used to call it peanut butter. I got the Coupe de Ville. Now I got the Coupe de Ville. I got a job. I'm working in the mailroom at this insurance company. And, it is what it is. Me and baby mom, we kind of still don't work out. So now that I know about weeklies, I end up moving to the budget suites in Texas. I kind of adopted the West Coast game from learning about weeklies and went to Texas. So I went to the weekly in Texas. Me and baby mama decided that it's best for my son to live with me. So my son comes to live with me in the budget suites, and I'm working this job in the mailroom. I got the 85 Cadillac Coupe de Ville, and I'm feeling thorough. I'm like, this is what I came for. So my son with me, I'm working in the mailroom. I met a couple of homies at the mailroom. Shouts out to the homies AD and L, man. Shouts out to y'all, man. And we used to kick it in the mailroom, having fun, whatever. We used to go meet floor to floor and delivers people mail. So me and one of the homies is pretty charismatic, and we would talk to all the ladies and the fellas, whatever. We was chopping it up with everybody. We was kind of known throughout the building. During this point, I was still in my player's ego. So I was pulling, I was doing the most through the building. I get one, didn't work out, get another one, didn't work out, get another one, didn't work out. That's when my son was seeing this and was like, Dad, you kind of a bad influence. That's when he said, you doing too much, Pops. I'm doing too much still. All these years. At this point, I'm like 30, mid-30s, going to late 30s now. Still doing this stuff. So I'm with my son. We in the budget suites. I'm going through a couple of females. I end up moving one down from my past. We start chopping it up on the phone. I think we reconnected, some type of Facebook or something. We reconnected, and I moved her down. She was living with me and my son, and this went on for a few months. We was together for a few months. She was feeling a little bit convicted about shacking up. She said she didn't really want to shack up. I wasn't about to get married, so she got her own apartment, and she was getting ready to move out. In the process of her getting ready to move out, I end up going to work one day. I had moved from the mailroom. Now I'm in the IT department. So instead of going floor to floor delivering mail, talking to everybody, I'm going floor to floor fixing everybody's computers, still doing the same thing, chopping it up with all the ladies and kicking it or whatever. So one day I was getting ready to get on the elevator, and a woman I hadn't seen in a long time. She's a beautiful woman, definitely beautiful, aesthetically beautiful, boy. I give you that all day. I seen her on the elevator and she seen me. I was like, hey, what's up? I ain't seen you in a minute. She stuck out her hand to shake my hand. I said, nah, I'm about to get this hug. You tripping. Gave each other a hug. It was an instant connection. I felt the instant, get some type of chemistry there. It was a magnetism. It was like electric on that hug. That hug started all this stuff off, man. I ain't hugging nobody else. Nah. So we had that hug, and after that, we started talking on the phone, or whatever. I knew my ex was getting ready to move in a couple of weeks, so I'm talking to this one. I'm already getting set up to move on. Man, that's just how I was at the time. That's just the type of dude I be, man. Out with one, in with the new. So it came to the point where Saturday, the ex was getting ready to move. And it was the summer. I had been taking care of my son for like half a year now. And he was getting ready to go for summer break with his mom. So this Saturday came, she moved out. He went with his mom in the afternoon. I had it set up for the new one to come in at night. You already know, sealed the deal, whatever. It is what it is. We had some drinks, had a good time. She was there in the morning and I had to go to work. So she was there in the morning when I had to go to work. I said, you could just post right now. I'll come back at lunch because I didn't work too far away. And I'll lock the door, whatever. You could leave when I come back for lunch. So I come back for lunch, look in, whole house clean, bed made, everything clean. I was like, what? Dishes washed, everything. I said, I might have came up on a keeper. Man. I was really happy and excited. Beautiful woman that was domestic, cook, clean, all of that. I was really excited about that. So I locked the door. She goes home. Come back next night. Now we in it. We seeing each other now. I just left. One just left in the morning, and already I'm into something else. Man, boy, I tell you. So we doing our thing, and not immediately, but not too long, we start arguing, and just the toxicity started. I didn't want to see the red flags at the time because I was like, she a bad one. I don't care. I ain't going, whatever. We'll figure it out. That's how I was feeling at the time. So we would break up and get back together. Unbeknownst to me, she would look through my phone and see stuff that I was doing because I was still talking to people at the time. I wasn't necessarily seeing nobody, but I had old females that I would talk to, and I was still I was still talking to them. So we'd break up or whatever and get back together. She looking through my phone. I wasn't looking at, I didn't really know she was looking at my phone like that, but I kind of sensed it. One time when we broke up and got back together, I said, man, she looking at my phone all the time. I'm going to look in her phone. So I look in her phone and I didn't see nothing. That really made me feel bad. I was like, man, I'm doing all this. I looked in her messages and all of that stuff phone. I didn't see nothing. I said, dang, I'm cold. So I try to get it back together. We still argue or whatever. Next time we broke up, we end up getting back together, and she was in the shower one time. I said, man, I'm going to look in this phone, see if she was talking to anybody while we was broke up. Her email was open. Her email happened to be open this time. So I looked at the email. I said, oh, so you an email pimp. You an email player. I said, oh, you an email player. Okay. I found her tail. My tail was phone. I'd just be texting people. I don't know. I wasn't even caring. Her tale was she wouldn't put it in the text or nothing, but she'd email somebody all day. They was emailing. I said, oh, okay. So now she don't trust me. I don't trust her. I know she gonna go in her email, do her thing. She know I'm gonna get on my phone. If we break up, we fair game for everybody else immediately. Like, so it is what it is. Now I know. So I didn't really check emails like that because when I checked it, honestly, I'd be like, man, I feel like a whole ass nigga checking after somebody like this. Hey, man, why? It's unnecessary. But I would every now and then tap into that email. She didn't. I knew her tail. She knew my tail. Like poker. So we would argue all the time, break up already. Next thing you know, we had this Christmas party. We had the biggest argument ever. Job, man, we out in the parking lot. Man, no, you. I was like, man, what? Oh, man, we just going at it. I said, man, what am I doing? End up breaking up. You already know, getting back together. We get back together. This time, though, she pregnant. She pregnant. I said, wow. For real? I already got my son. I want to be a good father. So we going to make it work. In my mind, we going to make it work. We had other incidents between now and then. This is pretty much a toxic relationship already off the rip. It's for this year one. So we had it. We getting ready to have this baby. We decided to move, get a place together. She has 3 kids of her own, and we decided to get this place together and move in to a big, beautiful 3-bedroom apartment. We was all getting ready to move in. My dumb ass, my ex called me the day before we moved in, the one that had already moved out. When she came in, the one before her, she called me and said she had a problem with her sink and she needed me to come fix it. Yeah, I went over there, fixed the sink, and fixed some other things too. Man, boy, I was no good. That was the only time I ever cheated on her, though. I did cheat that time. I mean, I went to fix the sink. I wasn't really thinking that I was going to do anything, but that was naive of me to think that somebody that I've been with in the past wouldn't be able to entice me. We wouldn't have some type of feelings for each other to kind of get back into that situation. So that was dumb of me for even going over there. It is what it is. I went over there. Basically, she seen the whole conversation in my phone, knew what I did, and didn't really let on about it too much. Kept this inside. She found out that I cheated, and she really don't trust me now. We don't trust each other already. Now I done sealed the deal on something, and I'm really not trustworthy now to her. So that's why I say this is karma. What can I say? I messed up. So getting ready to move into this place the next day. She knows that I cheated because she looked at my phone. Any chance she gets, she look at my phone. I know this, but I just didn't care because I wasn't really doing nothing until that one. But I left evidence. I messed up. And now we really don't trust each other. And we about to move in, have a child together. This is already toxic and not healthy immediately. Of course, it wasn't going to work out in this. We couldn't even make it through a lease together before we break up. Still in and out of it, breaking up, arguing. She ended up going her separate ways in less than a year. We couldn't even get through a lease. She got her own place. I got my own place with my son, and we broke up again. She was right around the corner, though. She lived right around the corner down the street, and we were still back and forth. I'm seeing, because at this time, I'm in love with the kids as well. I got my daughter, her kids, my kids, and I raised them, so I fell in love with the kids. So I'm doing everything possible to try to stay in these kids' lives because they say, these are my kids, man. And they was young age, and I raised them to walk, talk, everything about God, education. I put in a lot of time to make sure they had a solid future. And I fell in love with the kids and went through a lot of toxic stuff in order to get past all of that. All that being said, we will argue, fight. I end up moving to different places, back to Vegas. I moved back to Vegas. We broke up or whatever, moved back to Vegas. Couldn't live without my family. Called them from Texas. I said, hey, y'all got to come live with me. Y'all coming back. Said, oh, really? We back one big happy family again. Same thing. Get it, Vegas. All the arguments began. Same thing. Break up. Now I can't leave the kids out there. They ain't never been to Vegas. They in a new place. So who gonna leave? Me. Just these are the type of things that went on in this relationship. It was super toxic, super unhealthy. We don't trust each other, and it is what it is. Every time we break up, I get another one, and I look in that email. I can't confirm whatever she was doing, but every time I looked in that email, it was a new random. I do that too. I say, I bet you when I look at this email, it's gonna be some random conversation, picture, or whatever in here, and it was every time. So, like I say, we don't trust each other at all. Now we back and forth at it. Now we in Vegas, back and forth. I moved back in. It worked for a little bit. Kick it with the kids, argument, fight, move out. This is the cycle. Come back, move out. Kids are seeing this toxicity. Come back, move out. Argument, fight, move out. They seeing this. So it had to stop at some point. COVID came, and I had moved out at another time. I was staying in the hotels. I used to work at Caesars. I was going hotel to hotel for the low because I worked for Caesars. And COVID came. Caesars shut down. I got another little spot, kind of like a weekly, and that's where I was living throughout COVID. Now we broke up. This is just whenever COVID was years ago. Now we broke up for good, pretty much. In my mind, I'm like, I ain't never going back to that situation. So we broke up for good, but we was still going back and forth, doing our thing throughout COVID because, COVID, you literally wasn't trying to meet nobody new. And you don't know what they got. After COVID was over, I ended up moving to this place. Moved to this place. It's pretty much over at this time for that situation. That's when I started getting other new situations and doing my thing. And, it was the same until it's getting close to a year ago now. That's when God finally came into my life, and I already experienced all the karma from all the stuff I did. That was just a few things that happened in this relationship. Like I said, I'm not going into detail about what everybody did. I'm just going basically talk about what I did, maybe to deserve all of this. So I'm going back and forth, moving, getting kicked, not necessarily kicked out. These my spots, but usually my spot. But moving out, back and forth, back and forth. Now I got this place, and I'm doing my thing in here. And then God came into my life and said, "Hey, I'm tired of man. You can't keep doing all of this. I need you to do what I need you to do for me." This is a few months ago, quite a few months ago now, getting close to 7, 8 months, 9 months, I don't know. And came into my life and made me change my ways. I went into an isolation period. Was in an isolation period where I wasn't really talking to nobody. I was just here working on the things that he asked me to work on, working on this Hunnid speech, working on some music, learning how to be a graphic designer through an iPad because I'm an artist, and started some clothing lines, and that's what I've been doing for the last few months. And now this is my last day in this situation. I'm getting ready to moving out. So I just wanted to kind of give you a high level view in order to get to the present. Now we in the present. I'm getting ready to move to a new place, moving out of here. We got a Bomo apparel. We got some music. We got all kind of stuff in works. So now in the present, this is the last Hunnid speech. I got my daughter with me now, and hey, everything is good. I'm getting ready to start a new series called The Rebuild. So we moving from Hunnid speech, which was the past, which has been the past, and now we moving to the rebuild. Get ready to go to the rebuild. I'm gonna show you how I'm rebuilding my life in the present, rebuilding things that have been broken. Some things not really broken, just showing you videos and stuff pertaining to the process of me rebuilding my life from this point right now. Now, I've always been blessed to have good jobs or whatever. I have a high level skill set that allows me to take care of myself with accounting and Excel. When it comes to Excel, that's one thing I say when it comes to Excel, man, I'm cold. I have nowhere care what nobody say on that. I could do pretty much anything with Microsoft Excel, man. I be making some crazy stuff with it. So I've been blessed to have a skill set that allows me to be able to take care of myself at a high level. Man, I put a lot of work in to get ridiculous with it. I'm ridiculous with the Excel. I don't care what nobody say. So as we go to the rebuild, I just want to thank y'all for tuning in and watching all of this and seeing how it went down up until this point. But as you know, they call me Bo, and now it's time to go. I'll see y'all on the rebuild. Thanks for tuning in. Uno. As I venture through this journey of life, I've learned we all fall short. All of us. We all make mistakes. We all sinners. All of us. I've also learned the value of peace in the Lord Jesus Christ. And for that, I let them all go. Go ahead and be free. Anybody that's disturbing my peace has been released. I pray for the lost in hopes that it'll reach one soul who's willing to listen to real speech. To each his own. It's just wisdom and a microphone and lessons I learned from being error prone. I walk a path unconventional as I wrestle with this flesh that sins in mad intervals. I leave it to the Most High. Judge people with one eye, speck covers the other eye. This is multiplied faith and works. Truth hurts, I'm salting your wounds with each verse. I'm so glad I found Jesus, I needed it. Wicked ways, man, the devil is so mischievous. Heartbreak to the demons who don't believe in it. Had a vision, now I'm receiving it. I love some God. I love some God. Yes, Lord, and amen. Receipt of abundance, much more than dividends. I manifested greatness among the snakes who smile in your face, really hate, so they create myths. The gifts make room for blessings. Heed correction, ordered steps, new directions. Motivated by divine spirit in repentance. Crushing the devil with every sentence. Forgive them cause they know not. And even with this armor on, they try to take shots. So many plots to distort reality. Have a brother thinking that the truth is just a fallacy. Pick a side, I hope you choose right. I'm solid with my choice to shine bright and serve Christ. Living life, remain tight with Yahweh. Every breath a holiday, man. I love some God. I love some God.